home where my children will feed from my gifts and talents. Oh, yeah, my channel. And definitely it will happen. Today, dear, we're going to discuss something that has been in existence for approximately like 20 somehow years. I remember when the word entrepreneurship sprang out. It was like everywhere we could be entrepreneurship. I was like, what is it? And now it has become the norm. Sorry, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. Today we have a gentleman by name Betos. Albert Mensam from Media Niche, who is going to talk to us about entrepreneurship, how to start. I mean, even when you have started, how do you, network and, get things going? Good morning, superstar.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much.
Betos.
That's right.
It reminds me of Bebeto.
Yeah, the footballer.
Yeah. Were you once a footballer?
No, I was a goalkeeper, actually. I used to, be in a post.
You used to be in a post?
To safeguard a post. That's what I was doing.
And you're still doing it now? Like right now with Media Niche, you're safeguarding the post?
Yes, yes, of course, for Media Niche.
Why are there? As I began, so like the word entrepreneurship, let's break it down. I mean, and a lot of the youths are watching at this very moment regarding the messages that are actually coming in.
Sure.
All we want to do is to enhance our lives.
Exactly.
And to put people in the right positions and places where by the end of the day, they can put their gifts to use and make us all grow this economy that we all love so much. Okay, so the word entrepreneurship, where did it start? How did it become a household name that everybody today is like, oh, sorry, I'm an entrepreneur. Where did it begin?
Okay, right after from the beginning of 2000, there was a high demand on people to become self-reliant.
Okay.
So everybody was trying to look out for opportunities where they can start something on their own.
All right.
Because public sector opportunities were also was dwindling. So you would not be expected to finish school and then write applications, spread them around, expecting that you'll be employed.
Okay,
so
that's the early 2000s.
Early 2000. That was when it was actually there before 2000, but when it became quite alarming that employment opportunities would be much more sustainable when people create their own jobs and stuff like that. So that was when the institutions also started teaching entrepreneurship, and then they said they should include them in the curriculum, the regular curriculum, so you can go to school and study entrepreneurship for 4 years or 3 years. For an entire program, so it became quite important for people to pay attention to it.
Oh, okay. Because like what you're talking about, which sector wasn't giving people opportunities?
The public sector.
The public sector wasn't giving people.
Yes, exactly.
Opportunities.
What we usually term as government, work. Government work. They were dwindling. The opportunities were limited.
Okay.
So you would have to create your own opportunities.
Okay, so Media Niche, what do you do? Okay. Tell us about it. What do you actually...
Media Niche is basically into communications. So we use graphics, and we use all the communications tools available. So we help our clients to project their brand. We help our clients to build strong brands. Okay. And to be consistent. That's what we do.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
And when you say you help people to build their brands, Nyadia, where does it actually start? For me, if you want to put up a brand or, to come up with an idea where by the end of the day you can give services and make money from, where does it actually start with you people?
First of all, have to identify the goal.
Okay.
Why your clients or yourself are in business and what you hope to achieve probably in the next 5 or the next 10 years. So you have to streamline your plans. And then you project the activities that will enable you to reach that point. So building brands necessarily means that you have to create an identity and be consistent with it. Okay. So over time, people will begin to identify with what you can actually offer.
Mama, visa question, please.
Yes.
Hi, Beto. Good morning. I love the conversation that is going on.
Sure.
But it's hopped one step ahead for me. I'm following, but I got dragged back. Yes, and I want to know one thing. I want to ask, looking at what is happening in the media circles now.
Sure.
Brands, all brands. Sure. We have different brands, and how consistently they are building it, you know. What would you say the branding is like in the media circles now? Because when you say consistently building an identity,
Sure.
what identity is right or wrong for the media circles?
Basically, every brand has a personality or a character. So if we take MTN, for instance, MTN stands for something, the can-do spirit.
Right.
So it has to resonate throughout your activities, the products that you churn out in your communication, and what you seek to, offer to your clients.
Yes.
Now, there must also be points of experience.
Okay.
When your customers get close to your brand, do they experience the thing that you talk about, your product or your brand attributes? If you say we are in to make you happy, do you do things to make your clients happy? So that's the consistency. It must run through all the processes.
Okay. So now it's the company and the product line that we're talking about. Let's talk about individuals.
Sure.
Influencers. How
You see,
do they brand and create an identity that is consistent? And how must that identity look like?
see, because all of these people are rivaling for attention, some of them are compelled to go the extra mile, sometimes negatively, to, influence people to pay attention to whatever they are doing.
Is that called branding?
It is branding. See, branding comes in two ways.
Okay.
You either will be identified with something positive
or negative.
negative. But as to how sustainable it is a different ballgame altogether.
Okay.
You may start out with a negative concept, okay, and then later you migrate into another, and then begin to actually present yourself the true qualities that you really want to put out there. But that also comes with a certain level of consciousness. Okay, but if the person is not really aware or did not predetermine what he wanted to put out in the next 2 years, he will just be playing around with negative communication. And I think that's what's actually happening. It's not really helping because at the end of the day, you are also trying to influence people to a certain line. So if it's all negative, not everyone would actually come to understand that this is my plan. I want to start out this way, but I'll end up like, excuse me to use, Shatawale, for instance, was noted to be someone who was followed by the street. Okay, but he has gotten to a point where he's trying to migrate into a corporate or like the Jay-Z kind of thing. Jay-Z was on the street, now he's a business mogul. Okay, he owns huge shares in many, businesses and all that. 50 Cent started on the streets, but after 5 or 10, 6 years,
he's one of the best producers.
He was in suit. So you start off, with that kind of character, and then you get cleaned up afterwards. So
they can also get cleaned up and stay cleaned up.
Stay cleaned up, exactly. But you see, there should be something that is consistent.
Okay.
With your brand.
So you are like the cleanup guy.
Sure, like the cleanup guy,
You put ideas in place
yes.
and then clean up.
And then clean up.
Oh, okay. So if I have an idea, like let's say I want to start selling cocoa or exporting cocoa in that manner, right? And I come to you, where does this begin with us?
Okay, you want to export your cocoa. Do you know your market?
Yeah, that's what I'm
and then
like,
what are the other cocoa products that you have on the market? What do they offer? So what differential advantage would you put on your brand?
Okay.
That is the discussion.
Okay.
So once you're able to identify your unique traits or your unique attributes or whatever they call it, then you build it up from that point. See, it takes time to really build brands. It could take you up to 5 years. It could take you up to 10 years for people to really accept what you have.
10 years.
Yes.
This is who you are.
But it doesn't mean that it will always have to be 10 years. It could be shorter.
Okay.
But you need to have a shorter plan
And a long-term goal.
and a long-term goal. So your
A
short-term
plan and a long-term goal.
Sometimes your long-term should be ingrained in your short-term plan, or your short-term plan should be in the long-term plan. So you don't get weary, you don't get tired, because you know that, no, I still have more room to go, and people will pick it up. So you have your cocoa product. Well, how different it is as compared to the other products, and where do you want to export to? Where are your competitors playing? what market share do they have. You need to study all of these things and understand the field they're going to play on. So once you're able to identify these things, they become a strength, and then you run with it.
Is it lucrative, if I'm using the right word, to be an entrepreneur now in this country?
It is very lucrative.
Okay.
Though there are quite a lot of disabling, situations that one might encounter, but it also depends on the area that you want to focus on. Some of the sectors are actually, overcrowded.
Crowded. It's crowded.
Too many players. Too many players on the same field.
But I thought everybody was getting like mineral water. So be an
the point of mineral water is that people drink water every day.
Every single day.
All right. So you have to also understand that business entails, sustainability. Okay. If you are selling food and it tastes good, people can drive from Tema to
wherever you are.
But you see, so you'll be able to maintain that concept. There may be chain of food sellers,
but they'll still
on
come
a stretch,
to you.
but they'll still come to you.
What would you say on a whole, like Ghana in a whole? Let's talk about, you spoke about telecommunications whatsoever. How would you say, are we doing well in the brand, arena? Are we consistent? Because me, I have issues with telecommunications, like every now and then. Sometimes you might call it telecommunications. They give you their customer service and all of that. And they can put you on hold like forever. And they come back with no solution. And that they are very consistent about, with no solution. They are very consistent with no solution.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking that let's look at brand-wise, how are we faring in Ghana?
Are we true to our word?
Have you noticed anything? Are we doing well?
Well, I don't work with MTN, but to speak as a customer.
No, I was actually talking about telecommunications.
Telecommunications in general.
Yes, telecommunications.
I don't think that we are actually meeting the demands of the customers. When it comes to customer service, there are very critical things that we need to look at. How quick are you able to offer solutions to solve problems for the customer complaints? If it takes you more than a week to attend to the customer, that's actually a big blow to the brand. And I think many people are experiencing these things almost on daily basis. Your credit gets vanished on your on your data.
40 Ghana.
It dwindles faster than it has to.
Yeah.
And then when you call to complain, it takes more than 3 days or 4 days to get the issue resolved. See, if you can get the issues resolved within the next 5 minutes or the next 10 minutes and it's consistent, then they stick to it. Telecommunications, to be very honest with you, I think they have taken advantage of the situation in Ghana because we are not aggressive when it comes to placing demands on some of these institutions. Sometimes you would experience, one or two occasions where people would be angry with a particular brand and then they would withdraw their services. But then it's not as aggressive as I expect people to be. You see, we can actually put them on their toes. We can actually charge them to do better than they are doing. But it all depends on what we want.
We want.
Exactly.
You said early on about, I asked about the entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur in Ghana, if it was lucrative, and you said, yes, it is. But you said that there are a bit of challenges, I wanted to know about the challenges. So, obi pese, obi a juma, onwa be in a juma. Now say, there are challenges to be. Obi pese obi onwa na obi o hono kreska o sisika me pese me disika we eko business mu ananya sa na ete me pese me disika eko share business bi mu ebi ana obi I introduce no to some business be say we ekopa yan fancy you for instance say sachet water no ekopa ntino wunya ya ebeko osi o free akra ha no mo yenyi mu enye we nti wo di tumu o mo no ampania pa ko 40 trotro na be ti ka mu kra ni e to nsi o yi nsi obi ase me we do that we do that enti no obi o tu obi fo a wudi nsa na me kan no kra obi o tu obi fo a wo se wo be me na wota na fa ko adwo be bi wono na ko bi ana fa ko kura ntumi o honom no kona koye nsuo no ebefa because se wo tu kwan dia na wo to nsuo a won hye da hwe nsuo akon awo no but so what capital anymore, you actually want some particular brands to drink. So what are some of the challenges? And do you think that the human nature, we're funny, eh?
Very, very funny. The biggest mistake most people make is that they rush into businesses they have not studied much about. If you want to sell car tires,
repeat that. People run into businesses.
They rush into businesses they have not studied much about.
Wow.
If you want to sell car tires, you have to talk to probably 10 experts from Abosokai who distribute or who both the importer of the tire and the one who sells the tire on the market.
Okay.
They can tell you which brands are moving how to go about it. If you and then you also know, are you going to be an importer of the product or you want to sell? Okay. Are you going to be a distributor? You need to decide, but with an understanding of what actually goes on. Every business has its own terrain. Okay. Every business has its own characteristics. You need to understand what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
Friends can come up and advise you. You know, business where you're what is cash my beko. You see, but it may not be for you. You may not have the kind of what do you call it, the mental, zeal to to actually drive your business. People have invested millions into businesses that never worked. Why? Because
would you say some of them are quite seasonal? Because some businesses
it's all part of it. So whilst you are interacting with the experts on the field, they will be telling you the seasonal whatever what do you call it. They will show you the map or the calendar as to when it moves and when it doesn't move. So you can also tailor your program to suit it. And then if you are a starter, you need to start from a point. You don't push everything into it. You have to start from a point and then you build it up consistently. So you don't have to depend on advice from friends. You must know by yourself what you want to do.
Because sometimes it will be that season and naba. Yeah, topper. So if you are now don't want to shave your top.
It may not work.
There was a time not check or hopper. Let me check.
Yeah, of course.
Obi build a clientele base for
a very long time.
Until you season, he has his customer base already.
Okay.
On Frepo, they call him exactly. And they also are they move.
I get what you're saying. I get what Beto is saying.
About your character, as Ghanaians, because me who say my fans say pure water na ekwa, ye ko. So shoes na ekwa,
So
why is it that?
So that is why I made mention of consistency. Okay, and then you must be able to stand the test of time. If you've been in the business for 5 years, okay, whether it's seasonal or not seasonal, you will definitely build yourself into the seasons. Okay, having established your customer base already, so you are already in contact with them. They know that you supply chains during Xmas when people are getting married.
Yes.
Okay, so they'll call you to come and supply chains, but you might think it just happened, or I just invested the money and I got my returns. It doesn't work like that. They may have been around for a long time.
To steady it up.
Yes, they are succeeding because of the time and the sacrifices they have made in the past. So once you start a business, you must be able to psych yourself up, condition your mind to be on it for whatever time it will take you to really succeed with your customers. And
I tell you what, there was a time Mekoto, I had a chat with a woman or Kwan or the twin bro. Metwemu a me say bro na fe na why you didn't want who I did to Janice. Meko school about years, some couple of meko school me ba no. Na bro na da so ni na no. Asa. So I asked her, na baby so a ton bro no wo no ye area chere say bio residential say it's a very heavy area bia at the ton of honom no na from like could be a shany dem kind of when ye open area sabi oni pata fa baba na asan. And I mean who said, like you said, I agree with you on the consultancy. Say opese o ye ubi adwuma bia na do sika e hye adwuma bi mu a media na chefo say men kan kire wo say bisa ho asem bisa sa opese wo ton a bisa obi oton opesa okra bisa wo bi a okra because this woman and not to ebru watching our ton by ya to any kubi and oton koko and it will surprise you. So they actually who feel say who ko school akwa ko munim seasons na chen.
Exactly.
Onim da ebru eba.
Onim tere no.
Onim ebru no onim da kube kuraba. Inti obekwa akwa choke no for ebru no. Onim da akoko ebe yefo ana ebe ba bebre ne dodo inti no onim da akoko ba inti one day ubeba no why miss cultivation. Ubona koko kakra ha yi kakra ti say it is entering with adwumani and I'm telling you baby a wate no enkan wasi atade
yes
ubeba no na asa se na beto ka no na won so hwe maame na wani bre no say maame o de koko besi ya say to mo to nche bia na asa na de koko aba besi koko na afade be sa no wate kire wo paper mu a wo de ekofie adan ya nto un shedan steady terrain no. I want to believe that Media Niche is there to usher people into business.
Exactly.
The house, the nose, and all that. Especially individuals. I want to leave that business for Alex and get into individual influencers because abrochire baby ni abrochire so obi kasa we influencer, obi kasa we personality, obi kasa we building a brand. A whole team.
It's a big
exactly.
Team.
Yeah. Your whole team.
Exactly.
Your one year will be a pushy that brand. Your whole team, whether it's affordable or not, but some people do build teams, but we don't. It's not pro. It's not professional. So I'm happy to hear for once to say your entity be almost okay. Yeah, because the brand we are. Minimum say agencies and so mate. Say agencies be is it affordable? Say you have people that are going to not support you, teach you, be a part of that journey to build you up.
Okay, yeah, it is affordable. It is affordable because you see you are looking at the long-term benefits. Okay, when you start accruing the benefits, you wouldn't say what I spent was too much. What I spent on getting myself right here, was too much. So we are looking at a situation where you come as a raw material. So we study you and then we assess your abilities, okay, your strengths and your weaknesses. And then we also have to tap into your passion. You must have the passion for what you want to do. You must have the passion to get yourself out of poverty, to be on your own. But most importantly, is to offer solutions to the larger society.
That is when Ukraine say me business be dia.
Sure.
Any about one chenya because komo aye di na was say
enye only that. Enye say be Ukraine ba. But
the idea being so
I want the idea.
Okay,
So Media is representing the entity or the agency. Will give you the guidelines. Now it starts with everything, including your creatives to where you have to project your brands. Either on traditional media or social media, wherever you want to put your brand for people to see, to hear about you. What times are you going to do it? What periods are you going to, for how long are you going to put this here and that here? We can show you the terrain and then help you to build it consistently. What you put out there, okay, and how people see it is how they relate to it.
What you put out there and how people see it is how they relate to you.
They relate to you. So that's very much key. There are very simple things, simple strings you can pull to make a huge impact or a very huge impression on the minds of people. These are very, very, very tiny things, okay, that people don't usually discuss about. One is your brand identity, your personality. What do you stand for? How do you appear before people? The way you speak, okay? Do you make sense? How do you structure your conversation? Does it resonate with the brand that you are representing? So there are so many things that even includes your personality, your representation in public or to individuals. So there are we look at all of these things and then in totality, we build you an identity that can stand the test of time.
In TCC and Media National, so no. There was a time Uber Fre na yepe people to help in the house, nannies, blah, blah, blah. There were agencies that you can call and then they give you nannies. And it was so professional. They had their details, everything, so you felt safe. Is media a place where say a bia me wo idea bia na sika bia me pese me de eco business mu no ma ba ho na o ma chechere me aboa me ama me hu adwuma a wo se me de sika no eye se na me sifa aye ama adwuma no akoso na mpo se me bi se o se e ba ne se idea ne yekeka bomu a na se sika bi ne kura me ne ye pe ba bia ye de sika no adwuma ko a ye de be hyemu na me hia same people are on be boa ama adwuma. I'm talking about workers, talking about managers. I'm talking because obi wa or idea no wonim die no or sabio ebia or sika krona or pese to implement the idea doesn't have the know-how or the people.
Okay.
Well, doesn't have the know-how of the people. Oni pasano saying na obe because obi o no mo a waba oh me wo sika say me pese me de share 7 me fan say bi e boutique bi ana ebia me pese me be this huge salon as big as the studio. You know, we have a lot of people that open salons that are not necessarily beauticians. They just love that. They have the people, the customers, but they are not beauticians. Maybe they were South Africa. Brother, what me say?
Sure.
Maybe they were South Africa. What do lock or what traffic no way, but on one casa can't lock.
And so, same as pharmacies.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
just like
So
the story of maybe Dale Carnegie.
okay.
I don't know if you've read Dale Carnegie.
I heard and not read.
Making Friends and Influencing People. He wrote that book.
Okay.
Dale wasn't an engineer, but he owned the biggest steel factory in the US.
Okay.
Okay, so and he told people that you don't really need to be an expert. Sometimes you don't need to be an expert in a particular field, but you may know how to relate with people and able to marshal forces. Okay, with your managerial skills, with your human relations capabilities, so you can get people to sit under one roof and then push toward a certain goal. It works like that.
Okay.
You may fantasize about owning a salon, but you may also be able to really relate nicely with people, such that one, you are not greedy. Okay, you know how to reward, you know how to be, you know where to give credit when it's due. You are not bossy. The business shouldn't be all about you, or it shouldn't revolve. Everything should revolve around you. It should be around the people as well. See, if you establish a company, you put in there furnitures, computers, and everything. You don't have a company until you have people working in there.
Yes.
It's not the entity that does the business. It's the people who do the business.
Yes.
So you put more emphasis on people, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So if you take off the people and you are able to harness their potentials.
The people take care of the work, huh?
Exactly. You take care of you. It works like that. It's simple. You know, people go into business and they feel they own it. Okay, and they want to show. You see, humans are problematic everywhere. Okay, but sometimes you can actually change people by the way they think. It's just a simple button. If you are selfless and you're always willing to give, you may not always get it right. Okay, you may do all that I'm saying, but you could still find people around you.
Stubborn workers.
You see, but largely, you are likely to succeed at least by 90%.
I carry me where your friend is saying.
You know what I'm
when I
saying?
put it on my status, like when you change the way you look at things,
Yes.
the things change itself.
Yes.
It's a very, very powerful way. And person be so a very funny question.
Sure.
Let's say me maybe that part, and like let's say 5 presenters, and I say let's say 10 abba, and you need to tailor make all of us to stand out. How would you go about it?
As in terms of,
Or say about for per se has a brand any idea. 5 people, say 5 products.
Okay.
Only are competing for the same market. How would you do it?
well, they are all competing for the same market.
Yeah.
Everyone.
5
So
products.
so like MTN, Vodafone, what is it? Airtel to go are targeting the same customer base.
Yeah.
Okay.
More about they are your clients.
They have other products that suit business people.
Okay.
They have some category services.
Okay.
That's, so as in terms of the products, how different are you segmented? So people can actually, get more from some of your products than others. So you're not targeting a general market. Okay, so what are you doing for the millennials? What are you doing for the, the senior citizens? Mm-hmm. Are you targeting, you need to, how do you call it, categorize your demographics properly.
Okay.
And know what products will suit them. And then you tailor it. But if you throw it out there, you don't imagine in your mind that we are all chasing the same. That's not how they have structured the market.
Okay.
So based on your strength, probably one may be stronger in a particular category than the other.
Okay.
So once you're able to locate, identify that, then you build strongly on it. It was like a time ago, I was with Happy FM, and then we realized that our strength was in sports. Okay. Happy was competing with Peace FM, and I think Adum FM. Okay, in terms of the three transmission mediums. So then what did we do? Okay, then let's build on the sports. Let's not compete with Peace FM or Adum FM. Let's build on the sports. So happy sports, and then you keep hammering on it, push, and then you are there.
Okay.
So you have 10 people offering the same services, but as in terms of what? There will definitely be differences in there that you can actually capitalize on.
I trust that.
To make the difference. Does it make sense?
I trust that. Mama, I didn't know you ding. So was with you. Yes, okay, say a baby. I was a chrome ha. Now, I tarry be by your friend the Titanic. One should be young guy, a man, Namika Munim. Man should be that. To my guy. Man should be that.
Titanic.
I never friend the Titanic say, yes, see through, say, dear, you're not that time, no. For no me Titanic, no, Manimuna. A bubu say neto said you'll be a boom biana, not a boss so adding. Well, to me and to be and shall be able not to beach. The reason I'm saying that is in common Moody ZCA about, you line up a lot of people and how there has to be a differentiation, like, there has to be that unique thing with everybody that they can build upon. Their strengths, their weaknesses all come to play.
The market is wide.
Yes. And then you have to consider the niche, just like media niche. You have to consider the niche. Say, the market. Say, okay, like you have this. Let's target this. The targets, and then you can work on it because jack of all trades is master of none.
Exactly.
Maybe believe in one thing. You do one thing that you do well consistently. And then the other things that you do not do well, they just follow suit regardless.
Exactly.
So utie me now we artist. The yan so benya one hit na can na the bobi akrenti any more that. Oh yeah, Jay-Z yes sir.
Of course, yes.
Jay-Z yes sir. Born a crunchy once na afa you be on mo ba. Sanka obetie problems and fakwem, but that is Jay-Z. Inti ebe fakwem. Kanye just did it recently. We said don't doubt, said don't doubt, said don't doubt. Okay. Okay. Oh, right. And this guy filled the whole stadium. Yeah,
for listening party.
For a listening, yeah, even for a show, because he has branded himself like this is me. And so. No.
Yes.
It's just like that. And I believe in that. And we are all praying that we get there.
And that's the brand.
Yes, we brand ourselves in a certain way that we'll consistently do what we are good at. Hopefully, right? What we are good at. And then as we do that consistently, we grounded. Tia no sa no akwa yete oton waduane a ede na obia eto. Yeah, why do you say about your tomb beto? I'm no maduane no a. Yes, na nsi wo ye hyeto. Ni na be fa true.
Sure.
You understand? Akwa yete sa na we bie your friend is saying some entity like that, probably you might be selling, God knows if you are now to brudu. Now why watching say wakra margarine and I say butter and now cheese, probably cheese. Now cheese we so account bread obi aba beto obi o ha ni indomie ye de Enti si otompampa na obi ato. Yeah, ni Indomie ya kama. Enti ubo no jollof account obi adi. South ase. E ono ne dwan. So I believe in that, you know, consistently doing something you're good at.
Exactly.
You know, and making sure that you don't waver. Obi wa wa. And then aduane ye de ochina nko ye and then symptoms
It need a recipe, you know.
You know,
it's the recipe. Once you're able to identify that recipe.
Obi a branch and a
yes, papaya has a particular taste. It's always there.
Like that.
Consistent.
I think I was shitoni.
We answer any pattern by a talk and there. That's it. Almost so many you maintain
you
it.
maintain them.
Chips.
Exactly. Yeah, and a whole lot I don't even want to talk about. I actually drive a. Oh, you can't believe it.
And
I drive.
And I'm much buying. Sorry to cut. I want much buying. So no. Once you allow me to mekobi. I say green, red bino.
Yeah.
Time na your school no. Pesek na. Mami be buyer or no. Or the no why stew no separately and why shit on also green and black. Into what our Maui. Maui. Into I say na would buy any a sauce so the customers were like, you know,
sure, obia chibayire ade hey
shit or dry
masa obia your popcorn ama sisia no wa ma na school nkura no omu teachers no kwa kwasra popcorn wura no because mofra no bisa say where's auntie that sells popcorn because popcorn will taste.
Yes.
Otia say obia ye. You see, it's not about obi wa wa hwehwe sika pudu obi na odi akwa business bi mu na business nso odi kwa kwahye mu no na aye ne aye epacho elunti na do baby you have to sell quality things.
Exactly.
I mean, come for Phantom X and more no pay.
Sacrifice.
It takes sacrifice.
Sacrifice. You have to sacrifice together. You know, sacrifice for quality.
Yes, you have to sacrifice for quality.
You don't have to start off by target. You don't have to make a $1 million.
Yes.
You know, you have to be patient.
Yes. You know, Beto didn't say one thing. Me, I'm talking to regular people. Me, hey. O start to say we ye dwane come afi de obi na afi o de oyo basa bi na e chi ade.
Oyo be bisa no.
Na wasay no.
Yes.
Aduane o start ye ne oye wo table so kakra bi ade. O start o de be si o 7 e be 9 na asa. Isi ohun se nkrofo gu no we change ayi no that the sen ketwa na ekese. Sisi a no oye anu akwakose sasa anya mpese meka. No de ogum. O san si a no de ogum. Idi si se fie fufuo na ye de sisi a no ye hu so. Because so twenya na ebobe bia na ebobe tupe no wa won ni nsuo na de na ye lighter soup light soup
no
aho enti kakra na waduane na enye de ubonwa na obi abebie foforo na adwuma ne sei na adwuma ne sei oya o se area ha de mesesa mekobe foforo go the value is the same.
It's the same.
The value is the same. Stop adding water to this. Who realize who the nsuo gumpe asa. And these are some of the things that we do in businesses, right?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Now tell us where we can find Media Niche anyway.
We are located at Accra, Newtown.
Accra, Newtown.
Opposite the Societe Generale, SG Bank.
Ooh.